You are listening to the Loveprince Podcast with Lateef Lovejoy.
Lie down as much
saying that certain of these things is over my head even. So.
I know.
My
Bridget.
The Comedy and Entertainment Podcast. Episode 1 featuring Kevin Layne and Rob Lowe.
Yes, who are great, but they're very trademarky.
Yeah,
and you can kind of see shades of other characters coming into play in that.
He's always different, you know, just much like Gary Oldman, who is in the top 10, but you know, we're doing top 3. And then just for sheer energy, passion, style, charisma, thought process, electricity is Al Pacino. He's all of those things and more, man. You know, and those are the guys that really, if somebody were to say to me, you know, who are the 3 guys you can't do without, sometimes that list is easier. Top 3, because then, you know, the list is deep. There's Daniel Day, there's way too many, there's Forrest, you know, there's way too many. But the 3 guys I couldn't do without in my time coming up was them 3.
That's right. And it's mad because all the ones that you mentioned, I mean, obviously other than Riz, because Riz he's been around for a long time, but he's still kind of a rising star.
But he's
still.
a rude boy actor.
Do you know what I'm saying?
For me, you know, sometimes it's not about how long you've been around, even sometimes it's the quality of your work.
I believe so as well. I agree with that.
You know, like Sterling K. Brown, and you know, there's so many people who have not, you know, done as much work or been around as long that are doing, like, every time they're on the screen they're magnetic.
Yeah, they're really good.
They have a standard, you know, Benicio. It's too many, and I just appreciate all that everyone brings. Man, to the game. You know?
No, that's great, man. I think those were 3 very, very good choices on both parts, really.
What about you, brother?
Oh, what about me?
Right,
oh my goodness.
I'm trying to get out of this.
Ooh, 3. Oh my god. Where do I even begin? 3 top actors. Okay. I'm gonna go. I'll probably say I'm gonna go with Eddie Murphy. I know it sounds a bit crazy. My list is very eclectic because obviously I'm a comedian as well. So I look at certain other elements. The reason why I say Eddie Murphy is because of, you know, from a comedic point of view. I'm gonna talk about a couple of dramatic actors as well, but from a comedic point of view, I just felt that he just encapsulated that whole superstar charisma. You know, how to put so much, you know, one-liners in his dialogue, and how to make scenes so funny and so eclectic, and this is overall mannerisms and his humor. Like, even when he done like 48 Hours, that was his first ever feature film. 22 years old, and my man was carrying the film like he'd been in the game for 20 odd years. You know, and this is you know the innate talent that I've always admired about Eddie Murphy, from a comedic aspect. I know he's got a lot of dramatic capacity as well, with obviously Mr. Church and Metro, and his, you know,
even the recent Dolomite.
Even Dolomite is right. His performance in that was a great performance.
And
you know,
Girls, which is where he got Oscar.
Yeah, he got Oscar nominated for the Golden Globe. I think he won a Golden Globe for Dreamgirls. So Eddie, 100% yes. I've got to say Robert De Niro. I remember when I saw Casino for the first time. I'm gonna tell you this now. That film was on my mind for a long time. The acting, how unrelating the storyline was, how graphic the scenes were, like his relationship with obviously Sharon Stone's character and how that came to pass. It was just phenomenal. Even before that, there's a film called The Bronx Tale. That I saw De Niro in, and I was like, oh mate, like I'm really, this character, this vulnerable dad, like looking out for his son who's been kind of doing rounds for gangsters and stuff, and he's trying to protect his son in that whole New York setting, was just eclectic to me, man. So he's another one. I mean, there's so many, man. It's like, but I think those 2 really, and you know, I know a lot of Denzel's on a lot of people's lists, but why wouldn't he be? Let's be honest. I mean, there's, do you know what I'm saying? I mean, I said top 3, which is a bit difficult because you have to really get very specific.
That's right.
But I think in the realm of who we really enjoy, we can have a top 30. It's endless. It's endless, you know. But I think definitely. I mean, some of the works that I've seen him do is just incredible. Yeah, Denzel again, just someone who really surrenders and immerses himself in this character and just commits to it. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't even think half the time he even realizes the camera's even on.
Yeah,
he's so in that moment.
That's right.
He's not even worrying about the cameras. He's just in it.
Yeah.
And I think that's when the magic happens, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Definitely. So we're all British actors, and I know firsthand that both of you two have very good American accents, yo. I've heard them; they're good. You know what I'm saying? So the question I have next is, why is it that British actors seem to have less difficulty doing an American accent compared to an American actor doing a British accent, or an international accent for that matter? Why do you think it's more easier for us to do an American as opposed to them doing a British accent?
I think we're immersed more in their culture than they are in ours.
Yes.
We grew up on American TV, Cosby.
That's right.
Different world. You know, the Cosby Show, different world. You know, we grew up on American cinema, so we're listening to the accents of both black and white actors, Italian actors. You know, their culture was our culture. You know, in terms of entertainment and media growing up. You know, I don't think they had much Downton or they had much EastEnders going on for them time there. I don't think they were in the Emmerdale thing when we were watching Miami.
They weren't seeing.
You know what I mean? When we were watching Hill Street Blues and them thing there, they weren't watching the bill. So we've been in their thing the whole time, and it resonates with us because it's cool, man.
Yeah, I think so as well.
It is cool.
I always
something
say
about American accents and culture that is actually kind of cool.
And I tell people, man,
even though, you know, it's the history of the country might be steeped in a little bit of a contentious. You know, that's a different podcast. But you know, their culture is widespread and far spreading, man.
They just discourse they discourse so many things that you can't help but be influenced by their culture, and this is the reason why I feel that we work hard to be as good as them, if not try to be better than them. So when the opportunity arises, we can compete. You know, which brings me on to my next point. How do you think that we differ from American actors? How do you think British actors are different to American actors in terms of everything? What are the main differences, do you think, between us and them?
Interesting. Do you know what I think personally, I feel we're exposed. We are exposed more to different cultures. I really do. I mean, I know how diverse the United States is, but I just feel as though we are so much more exposed to different cultures. And the fact that we're in Europe, we've got that, and we can go to these different places. Like, I just think, I don't know, I think a lot of it has to do with outlooks. I think, I know it's a very vague kind of thing to say, but I just think because of geographical reasons, I feel people from our country, that our outlook is slightly more, it's a bit more wider than someone from North America. I know a lot of North Americans, and I know I got family that are North American. I'm not going to be happy with me saying this.
It's what you say, man.
It's just my personal opinion from what I've seen. But again, I'm open to be proven wrong. You know.
Yeah, no, you might be right. I mean, Spike Lee said that. Don't quote me on this, but he said something along the lines of how the training is different. The acting training is more the Shakespearean training and the stage training that we have in Stanislavski and Imagine with different things, which they also study, but it comes from a different place. Like he says, I don't know if the actors work from inside out as opposed to outside in or whatever, you know. But I don't know. I think maybe our processes are different. You know, I know, like, just from having gone to drama school or whatever, they're very detail oriented in terms of you know, they don't like general acting.
That's right.
They really don't like that.
What are you trying to convey on that?
You know, what does everything mean? I recently did a film you know, called His House, which is coming out soon. It's hopefully going to be the next Get Out or something. They're building it up right now.
So.
You know, and the director, Remy Weeks, another up and coming awesome director, amazing guy, you know, he was just like, what did you mean when you said that?
There you go.
What did that line? And I had to literally write a backstory on my little 2 lines. I wrote a backstory for my character just so it came from a real place. So
it helps.
I think maybe the detail in the work is different.
You think the attention to detail is great?
Yeah, maybe, but I think it will vary from person to person anyway. I don't want to put a whole of America in a box, like, you know what I mean? But
Totally.
I think there's probably a different.
And we even had a discussion, like, you know, obviously before we kind of started the podcast, we talked about, like, you know, what contributes to actors' successes. We talked about actors having gotten roles and are doing very well, and actors who are just fighting and just honing themselves to get that opportunity and then hopefully have a breakout role. So what do you think contributes to the success of an actor? I know that we can only control maybe the audition process and what work that we do, but what do you think is contributes to the overall success of someone's career in terms of what they put into it to be successful? Yeah, man.
I would go as far as to say, the main contribution is to not quit. It's real easy to quit.
Yeah.
You know, I went to drama school with like 30 odd people, you know, and I hope they're still going. You know, I hope they're still going strong. Do you know what I mean? But I heard a lot of them saying, you know, after this course, me I got to daddy's business, and you know, just, you know, to some people it's not as real as it is to others, but it's that unwavering, unflinching, unstoppable desire to just get to the top. Like you have to have that fire in you all the time, otherwise you get derailed.
I know I've got a friend who's a singer, and he often tells me, oh, you know, don't you ever get tired of traveling and doing this and doing that? I said, bro, look, when you're an artist, in my opinion, when you're a real artist, if you're not waking up every morning, every day thinking about your career, thinking about how you can make that further step to aid your career, I don't think you really, really want it that bad.
Yeah, this is what I mean.
Because when you really, really want it that bad, you are obsessed with every single notion, every single movement that you do is born out of an obsession. I'd say if there's anything you should be obsessed about, it's your passion.
Absolutely.
Because that is what's going to transcend your happiness, your livelihood, and your legacy. Because that's what's more important. That's the most important thing to me. Is leaving, I think to a lot of people, is leaving a legacy, something that people can remember you by. So I said to him, look, if you're not thinking about music, and if you're not thinking about actually being this person and every day relentlessly doing something, even if it's even if you have a limited capacity, but you're making the most of it, that's when, for me, whatever happens in your career, you've done all that you can physically do. Do you know what I mean? Because I know that luck plays a huge part in this industry. So if you're not thinking about doing it every single day, I don't think you really, really want it, man. It's supposed to be painful. It's supposed to be uncomfortable.
This is what I'm saying.
You know, the voyage is hard.
Denzel says that again as well. You know, the greatest threat to progress is ease. You know, but what I would also say is that, you know, like there's a guy called Jim Rohn. I think he's like a motivational speaker, but he says if you want better, you can't just wish for better. You have to be better.
You have to be better.
So what I would say is, you know, what contributes to an actor's career is being always striving to be better. You could always be a better actor. You know, sometimes you know what I mean. You could always be a better footballer. Like you can score more goals, bro, or you can
I totally
do
agree.
more tackles. Or
what's your take on it, Rob?
So,
it's interesting. Everything you said, I agree with. And for me, this is a perfect time to say that the quote, or what they say, is not one size fits all. Do you know what I mean? Because not one size fits all when it comes to making it, or what does it take to be a successful actor. There's so many different avenues. Absolutely. And I'd say just on this, it's like we're all striving to get to where we want to be. So everyone's element of success is different to the next man's. I know it's so obvious, but we feel that if we're not on the same level of as Denzel or as Al Pacino or someone like that, it's done. We ain't done that.
And I always say, sorry to interject you quickly, I always say that there's a thing in my opinion in Hollywood which I call the superstar era. And what I mean by that is, back in the 70s, 80s or whatever, you had bona fide superstars who were able to really transcend their careers as long as now, because there were so few mediums. You know, if you done well at the box office, you know, you had a good look, you know, you were versatile, then you can have a career. But those people, the Sylvester Stallones, the Tom Cruises, the Bruce Willises, they were born out of that superstar era. Whereas now, it's even more harder because there's so many more people that want to do it, and there's so many more different avenues. There's so much different peripheries and platforms, to be an entertainer, that you have to really come with a uniqueness that no one really has, or some kind of thing that makes you stand out from the crowd. Do you know what I'm saying?
That was dramatic.
Yeah, that was very dramatic. Table almost flipped over, man. Shit. You know what I mean? So so that's what I feel like. So now it's like you have to even more onus has to be on your productivity, because there's so many people doing the same thing, and it's so many different avenues. So I just think that if you're not waking up, breathing this, eating this, drinking this, making love to this, you shouldn't be in this.
Yo, you went in on that one.
Jeez.
That's true.
All right, cool. That was my semi-orgasm.
I've
come down.
So you have to make love.
Here's another question that I have as well. And this goes back to social media, because it plays a big part in it. And someone alluded this point to me, and I thought, okay, that's quite interesting. So with the social media now, do you think the amount of followers you have on a social media platform plays a big part in what opportunities you get in the industry?
No. I mean, it depends.
I go back and say, me personally, I'd say yes and no.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I mean.
No, but mind you, because you notice that they've taken away that no one can see what you've liked thing.
Oh, really?
The whole Instagram thing. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So they've taken that away. So I think that played quite a big factor in other people exploring your page or looking at your page.
Yeah, that's true.
I think that was a bit of a shame, really, because I always found it nice to see what other friends were liking. So if they were liking some interesting content that I wanted to have a look at, I'd see what they've liked. Okay, I'll go to that. I'll explore that. So in relation to that, I personally feel that's slightly more of an American thing, So let's say someone's liked your post. Someone from the States, let's say a casting director, has picked up on this and has kind of preed your account. I wouldn't say that the top ranked ones, more so the sort of like lower to mid tier, and have kind of preed your account and be like, oh, he's got this many followers. So we might send it like, but I just I don't know. I mean, I've heard of it happening, and I've heard of people being like, well, if you haven't got 15k followers, then off you go. And I'm just like,
do you know what I personally
really
think? And this I mean, it happens, but this is why I have a big respect for acting and the casting of acting, compared to you just being a popular person or even a comedian for that matter. I think when a casting director is casting you for a role or looking for a role to be cast, the primary thing they're looking for, in my opinion, is the nuance of that character. Are they who we have in mind? That's the primary thing for them, right? And nothing else doesn't really seem to be that important in terms of everything else you're doing. As long as you are that person, then usually that's how people get cast. However, I do believe that social media and your followers, or the amount of followers you have, does play a significant part, because as well as they cast you based on your skill set and your look and everything, I still feel that there's an element of how popular are they to now aid what project that you're in. So I do think unfortunately there's a lot of people who are very talented who may not have the greatest social media following, but can probably see themselves at a disadvantage because they haven't got a certain amount of followers. Do you know what I mean? Okay, I'll give you a rough example of what I mean. If me and you go for an audition now and we both absolutely kill it, and they're torn on who to pick, it goes down to the finer things. He's an inch taller, he's an inch short or whatever, but they both really, really like us now. I can guarantee you they'll go on social media
and see which one,
and they'll see who has the most followers.
Really?
I beg to differ on that.
But that's just an opinion.
That's fair enough. But I beg to differ on that, because I feel that serious casting directors, the likes of Des Hamilton, your likes of Dan Hubbard's, like they're looking for the craft, they're looking for the thing,
which is exactly what I was
I think that's almost that's messing with your craft. Your cast as a casting director is to look for who's right for the role, rather than who's the most popular, who's created the most biggest facade.
I think the popularity thing is more to do with reality-based stars. You know, where the popularity. I think when you're dealing with acting and the raw essence of the craft, I think to look at social media is a distraction. It's a misfocus. You know, if you're a casting person, you know, if you look at some of the #1 actors in the world, they're not on social media even. So
that's right.
You know,
but do you think that's because they've already
Daniel Day-Lewis on there, or Denzel Washington, or you know, these guys are not on social media, you know, and these are the very, very best guys.
But do you think that's because they've come from an era where
they have some of them, but there's even newer ones like Benedict, who I've worked with, Benedict Cumberbatch. You know, he's not on social media.
But what I think though is the reason why I made that point is because I kind of have seen examples of, you know, popularity, even within the field of acting, popularity often being the deciding factor when it comes to certain things. I see it sometimes.
I think it could go.
You know,
I think it could go. I think it may even depend on the casting, even what type of thing they're casting for.
That's right.
Yeah, no, that's true as well. That's very true as well.
If you're casting for some, you know, some really specific things, it doesn't really matter. You know, but if we're trying to popularize this thing, you know what I mean, then we might want to look for someone popular. You know?
And I think it also comes down to the vision of the casting director. It's whether they want to break someone out, because they can do a thing where they can break you out when you could have not done very much, but happen to just be the appropriate new face in this new project to break out. And I think it doesn't really matter then, because obviously for you to even lead a movie or a TV series, you have to have something about you, unless it's a pilot that they've done and they specifically want a new cast, and you've nailed the pilot, therefore it gets greenlit, and then that's your introduction. But a lot of the time, you know, I kind of see that in this industry that's why a lot of people are longing for the breakout role. Like all three of us, I can tell you now, all three of us have auditioned for big things. For example, you auditioned for American Soul. For the part of Don Cornelius, right? That would be a breakout role if you were to have gotten it. You know what I'm trying to say? I auditioned for Coming to America 2, for 2 lead roles of Coming to America 2. If I'd got that, that's a breakout role. You know, you've auditioned for some heavyweight things as well. You've even gone as far as going to LA and meeting with a high-end agent. You know, so we've all kind of been in that perimeter of what I'm talking about. But I just feel that when it's a breakout role specifically, it doesn't really matter, because they know that all that's going to come to you anyway. I just think it's really difficult when, you know, it's a star-studded thing, or they're looking for someone to add value to a cast, and it's like I think it does come down to numbers quite often. It shouldn't. But I believe that it does. But then sometimes, in certain instances as well, you can just be very, very good, and no one could do what you do, hence leaving them no choice. And that's my mentality.
I really sorry to interject. I really think it depends on the project, you know. And I really think it depends upon what the actual casting director wants within the thing. His vision. You know, for them to even call you in to the audition and to get them final factors, I feel as though, and like I said, I've heard of this creep, like slowly creeping in, but I feel it kind of undervalues the role of a casting director. Personally, I just think there's nothing better than someone coming from nothing within that sort of social media world.
I totally agree.
They've arrived, and they've arrived because of their craft, not because of this thing they've created.
And that's where I'm at in my mind. I'm all about the craft. It's only ever been about the craft for me. It might be tough, but if I could only make 40 grand a year doing it, I'd do it for the rest of my life.
That's all right.
Rather than
actors that do that all day,
rather than anything else. You know what I mean? It's like pure love. I just want to survive and do what I love. You know, but yeah, you're right. It is dependent on those things, but also, you know, there's people on social media now that are looking at blue ticks You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you could get a blue tick if you got 500 followers. And
I know people that have got blue ticks.
yeah.
I've got less than 2,000 followers, but they've got a blue
less
tick.
than 1,000. I know two friends. Well, a guy I met in LA. Roger. And another guy I worked with in Jurassic World or whatever. Both of them at one point in time.
I look at a blue tick
But
I look at a blue tick like an algorithm, though, because I think what a blue tick is to me, because I've seen loads of people who have done loads of things who didn't get a blue tick to a certain point. Now, I just feel that if your name is associated with something and it's in a publication or it's in a media outlet or it's some kind of journalist has been fuzzing your name around, then it kind of almost
automatically
it lends itself to that algorithm, which is why they'll give you a blue tick, right?
I'm not sure how true that is.
Well, I'm assuming, again, this is not gospel. I'm assuming that's how it is.
The frequency in which
because I think if your name is passed around a lot, then if people see Kevin Layne, they see Rob Law, and they see it in different peripheries, and it's like, okay, this name keeps on popping about, and it's interlinked with a publication. That's when I believe you get a blue tick. That doesn't necessarily mean that you've done a whole lot, or you're even quote unquote, more, or your body of work is more sustainable than someone else. But I do think that it kind of disrelates itself to you being affiliated with something, which is why it's not really that valuable in my opinion.
I think there's two ways of it. I think you could get a blue tick because you know somebody or somebody's put you in there, or you could get it for that reason that you're talking about. But I've been in the Hollywood Reporter. My name has been in that.
This is it.
Variety. It's been certain, do you know what I mean? These are like the biggest publications in the industry. But I still don't have a blue. Not like I yearn for a blue tick.
Do you
know what I mean? Because the blue tick to me is not going to have Nina Gold on the phone tomorrow going, oh, this is great. Now we're going to get you some
now
work.
we're going to get you some work.
Do you know what I mean? So it's neither here nor there.
I
guess it's nice if it's there. I guess you're looked at in a different way, or people, but to me, I'm still that artist.
Yeah, that's right.
I still think there is a certain prestige that's linked to it. But however, I always say this. I always say, let your work do the talking in it. I know when people go on my social media, when they see my content, I'm not saying I'm the greatest creator in the world, but I know that there's a certain element of quality that has to be linked with what I do. It's imperative. It has to be of a certain standard. So when people are looking at it now, it's like, okay, that's what Lateef does. And then that's my way of being individualistic in that sense and stylistic. Do you know what I'm saying? What's your take on it, Robert?
Yeah, I mean, I think, as you know now, well, maybe not, you can actually request all of that.
You can.
Also, just like the industry we're in, it's not what you know, it's who you know. If you know someone that works directly in the company, you can just go, listen, put that blue tick on me, and you ain't done nothing. So I wouldn't be thinking too much deeply into them kind of things there. And also, obviously, we're talking about, does it help within the acting front? I mean, it's funny when I think about it in terms of like real life emergency situations. Like in America, someone getting pulled in by the police, and they're like, officer, I don't have no idea, I've got my phone. They pull out their phone.
It's a blue tick, fam.
There's a blue tick next to my name.
I'm somebody.
Don't shoot me. He ain't giving
He's still putting a bullet in your cranium. You're still going to be injured.
You're still getting the same treatment.
You're getting the same shit.
I've had Don Cheadle in handcuffs. Telling the police I would sign your autograph, but I'm cuffed.
There was a video. There was a video of, what's that athlete again? Mo Farah. He was in Germany. He was in Frankfurt, I believe, one of the airports there. He got treated like a bundle of shit. This is a double Olympic champion, bro. And this is at the height of his popularity. Them German guys are like, we don't care who you are. Just look. They were abusing him, dragging him up. You can't film here. Putting him on that kind of quote unquote suspect kind of vibe. It was just like, so I totally agree with you guys. I do believe that it's really I think first and foremost, it definitely, what you said, I do believe affiliation, association makes a big difference in regards to that. I couldn't agree with you more, and you as well. Do you know what I'm saying?
I would say, like, as a casting director or anything, just in regards to any of that social media stuff. Like Rob was saying earlier, it's got to be about the work. It's got to be about the work. Thing, because the blue tick is not a. It's not a a spirit.
No, it's not.
That
It's
looms
not.
over you and
I think people are
gives
under
you the
this.
acting.
Yeah, I think people are under this illusion that
it's you know what it is. It's a dot on the screen.
Yeah, of course it is.
It's like a pixel.
Yeah.
It means nothing.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, what
Yeah,
are you
yeah,
going to
yeah.
bring to the thing?
Yeah. I just think people get caught up in this
They get
whole
caught up. And they're meant to
world
get caught
of.
up in it. They're
Do you know
meant
what I'm
to.
saying?
It's intentional.
Maybe I believe it is, and I always say, yeah, and this I have this philosophy myself, and I always tell my close friends and compatriots or whatever, people in the industry, always have your own focus, bruv, and never. If you're doing something and then someone invents something after you've done what you're doing, you don't have to go and jump and do what they're doing because you've already got your lane in it. Whatever comes to you, whatever input comes to you, is purely because you're on that voyage and you're just channeling forward, and people are seeing what you're doing, and then they're contributing to that. Because I can tell you this now, and I've had little bits of experiences of it. When you keep on churning stuff out and you're consistent, and then you're just nice to people,
mate.
you're not an asshole.
Big point there.
If someone snubs you,
because it's a small world we live in.
I'm telling you, be nice.
Yeah.
I'm not saying play up to someone. I'm not saying
But
give
be
someone.
nice anyway.
Yeah, I'm not saying give someone's testicles fellatio. I'm not saying that.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, my bad. Kids show, well, kind of. But I'm just saying, be nice. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that niceness is a rebuttal. It comes back to you, and that's when people give you the accolades, So I think people are just too caught up in this popularity and this a lot of people as well need to understand that acting is not a glamorous thing. It's a creative thing. People just often want to be in it because I want to be a film star. No,
the focus is wrong.
That's not what it's all about. That's the byproduct of it, but it's not necessarily why people get into acting.
My why is strong, man. Your why has to be strong.
It has to be strong. I'm fascinated. The reason why I love acting and comedy in particular, I'm fascinated in embodying someone else. I like the element of danger. I like the element of that. Like, I'm on stage, I can flipping die on my ass tonight. I like that instant feedback from the audience. Do you know what I'm saying? I love that. I love that whole kind of ooh, is tonight gonna be the night? Where shit goes wrong.
Have you ever had it?
Do you know what I'm saying?
Play I had it once, bro. Man was in a play in Henley upon Thames. And I saw Paul Greengrass just there with his kids, and I was so brazen and bold them times there. I invited him to the play anyway. But I had the play. It was just like Paul Greengrass. And I come to this play that I'm doing, it was a good play. It was a sort of like a independent sort of thing. Anyway, in there, bombed, bro. Forgot my line. Oh, wow. Like, he didn't come. But I went blank and I got saved. Have you ever been saved? That's my question. That's my question. Not by Jesus, but has your career been saved by another actor? Because I lost my lines, bro.
I've had that before.
And I froze up, bro. In the early days. And the other actor brought me in, and they realised you need to have sharp actors around you as well. They realised that and they picked up. I've been saved a few times as well. And then I was like, oh my days! Like, after the play, the amount of hugs. The amount of hugs. And that's when you're doing it, and that's when shit is pure and unadulterated, live. There's nowhere to hide. In stand up, there's nowhere to run. Any good actor will tell you hone your skills on the stage, bro.
That's right, man. You do, and it's mad because even when I done when I first done U-Switch and stuff, and we were doing loads of filming, but them men were like, wow, you only need about 3 takes, don't you? Because I'm prepared. I do stand up, but I have to, in my head, this is easy. Because I'm used to being like, right, let's see if you're on, boom, and then that's it, me and the audience. And now I have to break down so many different things.
I respect you, stand-up comedians.
Do you know what I'm saying? And it's the same. Why? Listen, man, it's a training skill.
You guys work hard.
But being a theatre actor is very, very similar because you're naked, bruv, in front of an audience. So what that guy did, what your co-star did, that's when you know you're dealing with a professional.
She was.
And there's nothing better than when you know you're working with a pro. Because that man that just lifts you up.
It's like it felt like the whole company that just went. It felt like everyone's head went, at me, and I just felt like
the whole weight was on your shoulders.
Everybody realised, and it was great to just have a company of actors that were just so.
I mean, I've had
and
that
it was nerves that really did it. It was I mean, all the other nights were killed.
It would be
nerves, man.
Yeah, it would be.
Just first getting out there and doing all these.
It would be. It's mad. It's like theatre. It's man.
I've had that when they've left me for dead. They've known it, but they know they're teasing me. Do you know what I mean? It's like I don't want you. It's like you're dying for me. You know what I mean? It's like you're in the desert and you need that drop of water.
That's a mean son
like,
bitch.
Yeah. When I was at drama school, and there's been like 30 long grueling seconds have passed, and then they've just gone their line. And then they kind of like helped me out. You know what I mean? But it made you sweat for that moment.
It made you sweat.
Do you know what I mean? They made you sweat for it.
I'm not really a vindictive person, but that motherfucker's getting a payback, bro. Trust me. I'm cutting him out of a scene. If we're doing a combat scene, I'm breaking his kneecap, bro. So you can't do the next scene. But that's I'm calling it back, bro.
That's mean.
That's really, really peak, man. So obviously, with all the landscapes of what America has in terms of all of these, just how exposed acting is now. What's your take on like rappers or like models or non-actors using their popularity to project their acting career? Do you think that's a cool thing, or do you think it's kind of like, oh man, why can't you just stick to being a model? Stick to being a footballer.
I think that anyone on their grind that is getting true with what they want to do in the world, more power to them.
Couldn't agree more, man.
Because really and truly, it's nothing to do with what I'm trying to do. Do you know what I mean? Essentially,
exactly.
And it doesn't derail me whatsoever, because I know what I'm bringing to the party or to the table. But generally, those things are based on monetary. Because the business is all monetary. You know, what will sell, what's popular. So a lot of people like stars and singers going into films and stuff. It's intentional. The casting people in the studios, they know exactly why they're casting. Beyonce in this film, they know exactly why. But a lot of them are quite good though, because you still can't hide. You can't be crap.
Yeah, you
can't be a crap actor in the film. If you're a rapper or whatever, you still have to be good. So
you still got to say your line.
So I respect anyone's hustle and grind. Really, I don't.
What do you think?
I would say whatever you can monetize. Like get what is yours. We are big grown men out here. So me personally,
I'm a grown ass man.
Let's have it right. Why would you be so distraught and so pissed off at someone that is getting opportunities at him, that is just trying to put food on the table? I'd say get what is yours.
Get what is yours, man.
An actor that is in a new show right now in America called For Life. Shout out to Nicholas Pinnock.
Nicholas, man.
I'll never forget what he told me ages ago. He said, always remember there's two words, one of them is the most important. Show, business. It's a business. First and foremost, it's a business.
When you start getting into it, it starts the novelty of the whole.
It wears off, man.
It's just like you
almost lose your enjoyment. The bubble gets
the novelty of the beauty of the craft. And what you can bring, but you just start getting used to this whole idea of this is. It really is business.
It's a business.
Totally.
And the whole idea is to make as much money as you possibly can. Well, for those that are producing these productions. So I no shade at any of them actors that are doing their thing. Them rappers that are doing their thing. And one rapper that really surprised me with his performance. I shouldn't really say surprised, because he's been bodying it all throughout the show, and that's Kano with Top Boy, especially within that the new one that touched down on Netflix.
That character he created there. What's his name? Sully or something?
Sully. Yeah. Within the new one that just came out. I mean, for me personally, I would say that's worthy of a lot of high recognition. So I think there's definitely rappers out there, once they chuck themselves into them little things because they're getting the opportunities, there's some that will make the most of them, and there's some that won't. And those that are annoyed at the fact, please remember, first and foremost, it is a business.
It's a business.
It doesn't matter what X, Y, and Z are doing. Focus on what you're doing.
And also, you have to recognize that just because someone's a rapper, a rapper is something you do. It's not who you are.
Exactly.
Exactly.
For one. So and for two, acting is about truth.
Yeah.
If they can be truthful, then they can work.
And I think that's what's exciting now. I think, at the end of the day, look, if you're talking about a rapper's got real life depiction. So if he's going up for a role, 9 times out of 10, he's going to be bringing a lot of that reality to the role, and he's going to be relating that to his life. Do you get what I'm trying to say? This is the reason why we talk about drama school. A lot of people come out of drama school, and a lot of them struggle because you're still in drama school. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't mean it in a bad way, but you're in the sense that you still have this candy floss around you that it may not always be believable to casting directors.
I took my lessons harsh in drama school.
Let me tell you something. I remember. Let me tell you how deep. Let me tell you how deep some certain things are when it comes to certain castings. A while ago, my first audition for a feature film was a film called Terminus. I remember this so well. It was for this African guy who was captive. The role was for an African, like a young African guy anyway, who was on the run. And I remember this is my first ever feature film audition. I remember I sat down there and the director of the movie said, okay, say your lines. My man just done this. In my face, leaned forward, stared at me, no blinking, and told me to do my lines. I looked at me like he was on some high level crack. He was looking at me like that, not even blinking, bro. So now what that tells me is, okay, cool. So he wants to see the real shit. He wants to see that I'm not gonna flinch, that I'm still gonna just be in the moment. I don't care if he's doing that.
That exact same thing happened to me at the BBC when I did my crime watch. I can't remember the woman's name, casting director.
I remember
Kate something.
Kate.
You know what I mean? Listen,
Kate something.
My girl was like, now this is the emotional scene. This is where his brother gets shot. And she was like. You're kind of like, but I had to just get into it. You know what I mean? I got the role in the end. You know what I mean? But I didn't get the job. I got the role, but I didn't get the job because of technicalities. You won't go business, show business. I won't go into that. That was my first ever job on TV, Crime Watch.
I think
it wasn't meant to be. I guess it wasn't meant to be.
Well, listen, man.
But I had that same thing there, bro.
Yeah, he was literally didn't flinch. I tell you, there was one next time. There was a next time, and this is what I'm saying. Like, when you're in drama school, you get affected by that sometimes because you're always kind of sugar coated. If you do a scene,
I wasn't. But
not everybody. Don't get me wrong. I'm not generalizing.
That's right.
I'm talking about the quintessential. Do you know what I mean? Because trust me, the Radas, the Lambdas, the arts heads, them man, they train you properly. I think I'm referring more to the mentality of some of the actors that go there. Bro, like when you get out into the real world, you get directors who want to break you. They want to see you flinch, and they will literally do that. I remember when I went for the Lion King, Pippa Alien called me in, last audition now. She said, okay, this is it. This is the last one. No, this is for the West End, for the part of Banzai, one of the hyenas. She goes, okay, come in. I like you. I'm gonna. You're close. You're getting there. You're almost there. You just got to read for the producers now and the main people now. So I come in now, 7th audition. Virgin,
The room's crowded.
There was one of them that was sat down. My man looked like Simon Cowell's twin brother, rude boy. My man gave me the dirtiest look, bruv.
Yeah, I've had that.
I don't know if it was intentional or not. My man was like this.
Them tycoon looks.
And I'm thinking, is he trying to break me? And bruv, I didn't rise to it because I was inexperienced and I kind of allowed that.
You smashed it because he was probably trying to do that.
And I allowed it to throw me off. Do you know what I mean? But in hindsight, though, I mean, you always look at, because I always think sometimes when you get a no, it's always, to me, it's a prolonged yes in the end. A no is often a yes. It's just saying, not yet. Don't worry. it's gonna happen.
Quite easy.
You know,
It's
as my dad always says, you know, what is coming is better than what's gone. It's gonna happen. Just chill. Just chill.
love
And this is oh come on, man.
I love pops.
I can fling a whole, you know, but it's the whole thing where so that my mentality now is kind of like, okay, cool, I didn't get that, but I know something is gonna happen because I look at the path, I look at the road. Nothing happens by choice.
No.
It's always ordained. There's certain reasons why you read for certain things. This is why you're out of the blue. You're getting an email to say, "Oh, read for Don Cornelius for a massive BET series." It's going into the second season now.
Is it?
It's going into
well
season
done.
2 now. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But there's a reason why you got called in for something of that magnitude. It's because you're on that periphery, bruv. It's not by chance. You know what I mean? You didn't get that one? Okay, it's a prolonged yes. It's gonna happen. There's a reason why you walked into the offices of APA in America and spoke to one of the top agents there. There's a reason. It's because you've got to that point where it's like, okay, cool. That's showing. That's ordaining to you that you are on the periphery. You're on the road because the hard work is being seen, bro.
Yeah.
You know.
It's a good point. It's a good way to.
We have to just keep it moving, keep it pushing, and yeah, you know. But it's been a pleasure, guys.
It's been a pleasure.
We're gonna have to wrap up because my kids are in the car and them.
in the booth.
They're like,
got that safety action type of group where they can. When they run out of air, they can just.
Oh man. Yeah, man. So this has been the Loveprince Podcast, man. This has been with the one and only Kevin Layne and man like Rob Law, two of the UK's finest rising young actors. This is a pilot series, guys, so we're just gonna kind of just get in the vibe and the motion of this podcast. I hope you like it. Do leave your comments and stuff. If you like it, let me know what you liked. Let me know what you didn't like. But this has been the Loveprince Podcast. I've been Lateef Lovejoy, aka the Loveprince of Entertainment. Take care. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah, that's tough.
That was fun. Well done, guys. Nice flow.